Hey YouTube, it's your girl Davina Love back with another video. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you doing, my busy bee? Staying busy, I hope. Keeping it sexy, child. We try to always. This is my third attempt on this video, and I hope my phone doesn't act crazy, but what I wanted to do is show you. We have all been getting subscription boxes, right? I'm not the only one who got them in the past with foundation in them that totally don't match our skin range. So, I figured I would show you guys how I've been able to use these without having either declared them into the garbage because of the world at hand, donating them to someone, which is very hard to do when they're not in your same range, when they're in your range also, and, or, just giving it away, so a lot of us like to use what we got, and I'm going to show you what I got. So, I've got this, beauty blender from Ipsy, and as you can see, she is way out the girl shade range, right? And then I found this Maybelline satin liquid, and it is totally out of my shade range, at the Dollar Tree. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens, because we don't know. So what I use is an empty lash container, and I put both colors in either side to show you guys what I'm going to do. So first of all, you need a brush, a sponge, a washcloth. That way you can dab off the brush. And what we're going to do is work from the lightest to the darkest. And in the in-between, we're going to blend. So I'm going to take the brightest the beauty blender, because I really wanted to try the formula. So I was really excited that I got it. But it was really upsetting that it did not work for me. So I like to use them as a contour when they're super bright. And also, we'll use it as a mixing medium. I do the same thing with the Chic Cosmetics samples that Ipsy decided that we all needed in our lives, right? And all you're going to do is just contour your face like normal. Just chisel it out, going from the lightest to the darkest. And I know this looks crazy, but trust me, it will come out beautiful. This is just a way to shrink your pores down, not pores, but shrink your face down. Alright, so now we're going to take the darker color, and we're going to use that to also chisel out our face. And we're doing this before we mix both of them together, so that we can try to get the perfect shade matching range. Now, if you don't want to do this part, you don't have to, because it's not really one of the things that a lot of people do. I found out not everybody contours or sculpts their face unless they're like getting ready for pictures or whatever. I just really like it. I like the way my face looks afterwards, and I love the way, how slim everything looks together. Also, you want to grab your foundation powders, your setting powder, all the ones that are out of your range, because I'm going to show you how I use a couple of them that are out of my range to go along with this. So now that we've gotten the color laid down, let it dry a little bit, because it is not concealer, so it's not thick like concealer. It is foundation. But we're going to take a little of both and mix them together. And just keep mixing the light with the dark with the light, till you get it to a consistency like that. It kind of is almost spot on. And we're going to fill in the other spaces with that. It just makes it so much easier too, because it kind of can upset you when you have so much of a product that doesn't match you. So if you have the time, which a lot of us do have the time to do this, why not use what we got, And I adore when you guys send me packages out of your shade range, because I'm like, I'm not going to, if you tried it, you didn't like it, you sent it to me just because, in a friend mail or something, I'm going to use it. I'm going to attempt to use it. I'm going to try to use it any way I can, and then once I figure out the formula, then I will share it with you guys and basically the world. So right now all I'm doing is adding some setting spray to my sponges. and you want to get a few sponges out, unless you want to use a kabuki brush, but it's easier when you're using a sponge so that you're not absorbing so much of the foundation and having to reapply more foundation. So you want to work wherever you would prefer. I prefer to start under the eye because that was the first thing that I worked with, so it's kind of dried down. So we're going to go under the eye and just press that in and blend it out. And I was thinking about it, should I show you how to use it with this brush? I could, because there are some that just religiously use brushes, not sponges. Sponges have been new to me, so I can understand. I was always a finger girl. And you're wondering why I'm not worried about going from light to dark now, but I am going from light to dark on one side because you want them all to blend together evenly. And that way you don't look like the scary Halloween character. Now my forehead, I never really dab, I kind of swipe. Because that's just the way I like it. I'm not going to lie to you. Now if it gets a little too dry, you just need to go in again with wetting your sponge. So that is one way. I always stroke my forehead. I don't know why. Maybe because I've always had like a 5 head, not a 4 head. But it comes out damn near a match, right? But it's not really. So that's where the powder will come in. I'm going to use this kabuki brush that I know is pretty good with liquids. And we're just going to go on a circular motion. Because if you don't go circular, you will not mix it. Now this is where it gets a little difficult, so I'll close my eye, keeping it in a circular motion, and swiping motion. But as you can see right away, it blends out so much easier with the sponge than the brush. I'm going to add a little setting spray to this brush. A little, maybe a lot. And start back under the eye. Try to move some of it together. Spread it out. You can totally see the difference. The brush side to the sponge side. So I'm just going to take a little bit that's left over on the sponge to make this part even before we slide into the powder. Now for my powders, you guys know I'm a powder hoe. I love to bake. So you can skip this part if you want. And I figured use a palette that we all probably ran across at the Dollar Tree or bought it when it was on a Wet n Wild website. It's not bad at all. It's just not in our shade range, in my shade range. So let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can find a perfect type of brush. Okay, so I got this circular brush that I think will be pretty good to get up into my corners of my eye. And instead of using this to kind of contour, I'm just going to use it. I'm going to use it like contour, but I'm going to use it and show you how I dab it under the eye, in the nose, where I want it to be brightened. And then we're using this whole thing to set our makeup. So if you are lighter than me and you can't, and you're like in the in-between, you can't really use the bronzer. Like I can't use the bronzer, it's too light as a bronzer. It's best as a setting powder. So you want to set your face the way you want to set it, chisel it. That's why I like this brush, because you can chisel with it. And then I'm going to take the powder side, the setting powder, or the bronzer side, and that is deep enough to be damn near my foundation shade. So I'm going to build that up. And as you can see, it looks really good already. It just like melts in. And if you're darker than I am, you probably have some darker shades at home and you're not realizing, hey, he's in the back of the drawer, she needs some loving. And you can do that too. And we just want to make sure that it's all nice and together. Now, I don't like setting with a sponge because it doesn't get in where I want it to get in. But I will set it with this powder. And then if I want it to be brighter under the eye, I will just brighten it more. But this will even out my tone so you won't look so ashy with that really super light color. And anything you want to put under your eyes, unless you are covering up black circles, you know, I do have dark circles under the eye. I'm not going to lie about that. I do have them. But if you're really, really, really trying to, you know, blur them, you want to use a concealer or color corrector that is a little bit brighter and in your shading range, like a purple or a green. I'm a lavender, but because I like to bake with banana powder and it's already yellow and I'm yellow tone, that works just fine. So I'm just going to brighten up my under eye with the banana powder. And I'm not really worried about like the contour of it, but or baking of it. I just want it to be on and symmetrical. And I'll take a beauty sponge that's dry and press it into the skin. And then swipe it away. So sponges can be used wet or dry. And as you can see, this is a dry one, just to sweep it away. So what do you think? You guys going to try this? Bust out them, I can't wear them foundation colors and get your little plate or something and mix them up and see if you can get, sometimes you may need a little bit more. I know my pumps are 4 of the Beauty Blender and 2 of the Maybelline so that I don't waste it. But other than that, if I want to contour more, I could just use more of the dark color. If I wanted to brighten more, I would use more of the brighter color. And go from there. So I want to thank you all so much for stopping by and spending time with me. I really, really appreciate it. You know I do. And if you're new here, hey, I'm your girl Davina, and I love everything about everything and more things in between. If you're into that, please join the Hive. We'll be happy to have you. Right now, I have 2 active giveaways going on. One where it's my 300 subscriber giveaway. So that's your cue. You can use this video, leave your comment on here, and enter me. And also, all of the Beauty Ninjas for Mass Monday are doing a giveaway. So you have to come by and subscribe to every one of our channels, and that will give you 9 chances of winning. That is really cool. And then you can enter as many times on each video, and you will be entered for our annual. I'm going to call it annual because we're going to do it every 9 weeks. Since there's 9 of us, so every 9 weeks we're going to do an annual giveaway. And if you're not new here, you know I see you, sis, and I will see you all in the next one. Be good to each other and stay cool. Bye.